Good morning, my faithful loyal YouTube subscribers. Today it is Tuesday, November 10th. It's been a whole week since the election. Last Tuesday, so 7 days. 7 whole days. Oops, turn this off. I was picking up this phone and muted. 7 whole days, and Donald Trumpo has still not conceded in the election to Biden. You have to wonder what's going on in his head. I got me a delicious cup of coffee right here. I just made it nice and hot. I just wonder, what could be going on in that coffee hot? What's going on in Joe Biden's head? Not Joe Biden, but Donald Trump's head. We already know Joe Biden's head is like, then Joe Biden's head, he's like, Donald Trump, get the fuck out. Donald Trump's sitting up there trying to hold on. They were all past summer, people were talking about defund the police departments and go after the police for all this stuff and slow down the police by pulling funds. And maybe we need to work on defunding the Republican Party. I cannot stand the Republican Party. I hate them motherfuckers. And I've been hating them for the past 20 years. I didn't care for them that the first Reagan, the 2 years of Reagan when I was in middle school and high school. Then we had to deal with Bush. Then thankfully Clinton came in office as I was an adult. I said, Clinton was great. Then Clinton went away and we had to deal with 2 years of the other Bush. I'm like, George Bush again? I couldn't stand George Bush. George Bush was the first Donald Trump. That we all have to acknowledge this. Now George Bush is sitting in office pretending like he's such a sweet angel, but oh no. George Bush was not a sweet angel, y'all. He kept up a whole lot of ruckus in that White House. Not as bad as Donald Trump, but he is what led us up to getting Donald Trump. George Bush did that. And after George Bush, we had Obama, the great years of Obama, regardless of what people think. But Obama's also terms in office was much peaceful. For Americans, we lived a good life. And then the George Bush wasn't so bad, but George Bush kept up a lot of ruckus. And in the end, the economy tanked on his ass, too. George Bush ran the economy up, the housing market up during that 8-year period with some very lax rules on housing and a lot of other stuff, mortgages and stuff. Of course, they tried to blame it on Clinton, but it was really under George Bush's administration, 8 years of excessive run-up of the housing market and loans deteriorating to the point where anybody could just sign and drive. And then that's what led to the collapse of the housing market and the banking collapse and General Motors. The economy just tanked. It's kind of like what's happening right now as we get rid of another Republican. So, the Republicans thrive off having low taxes. The country cannot survive off low taxes. Y'all do realize that. Donald Trump ain't paid shit in taxes. But he's supposed to be a billionaire. Hell, Earl and I paid more in taxes than he paid. And I can imagine there were millions of other people paid more in taxes. Yeah, we do file taxes over here. And we do pay. So, I'm looking at Donald Trump and his non-tax paying ass. The hole he ran this country into, the ditch he ran it into by pulling the taxes from wealthy. People have to pay taxes. Do you enjoy the streets that you drive down? Do you like driving up and down the highway? Do you like landing and getting a plane and landing at an airport and it's safe and an environment? You have traffic controllers. Taxes pay for a lot of stuff that we all take advantage of every day. Pay your taxes, people, and be grateful you pay it, because it makes this country a better place to live. But back to what I was saying, this time for these Republicans to go. That whole conservative, racist movement that they claim is just conservatism is just racism covered up under the veil of religion and cheap taxes. But it's just racism. Republicans are some of the most racist people, and I'm not saying Democrats ain't either, because I know some racist Democrats too. But the Republican Party itself is the modern day Republican Party. I'm not talking about the one from 100 years ago. I'm talking about the one now that we're dealing with now, particularly under these last two Republican administrations, George Bush and Donald Trump. This is ridiculous. The rhetoric they put out there, the hate they put out there. Go back and look at Bush and the stuff that he did. Bush was no better than Trump. Except Trump was just more in your face and more honest about his bullshit. The Republicans have to go. It's time that we stop fooling ourselves about what they are about. Because it's not good for you. They're not good for anybody. They're not even good for their own white folks. Now, how is Donald Trump going to sit up in this White House and he didn't ran for president? He ain't paid no taxes in 10 years. How is that possible? He ain't paid no taxes in 10 years? Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. And they elected that fool. And now he won't leave the White House. He won't concede. He's still sitting up in there. So, when I look, the people I've met over the years, and I've met quite a few black Republicans, they're the biggest idiots on planet Earth. When you try to have a conversation with them, they're so stupid. And they support a party that if they walked into a meeting held by the Republicans at a local clubhouse, then white folks would turn around, look at him like, look at you like, what this nigga just doing, walk through this damn door. They don't want them there. But the black Republicans and gay Republicans, they are the worst. They are the worst. Gay marriage would not exist if it was not for a Democratic-led Supreme Court and Congress and President who was fine with it. It would never have happened under a Republican administration. Never. And you know, would I be married? There are some good benefits to being married that black folks need to understand. And you know, they ain't never getting no divorce. Why? Give up them benefits? Why would I do that? What would be the point? Who else am I going to marry? Oh, nobody. I'm going to stay married to girls. I ain't no damn fool sitting over here. I know what gay marriage has benefited both of us. He gets benefits, I get benefits. It helps us both. I don't know, we may not be living in the same household right now. That's on his black ass. But anyway, the Republican Party and their conservatism, their thinly veiled racism, and people who vote for them are fools. The white trash that vote for them. The dumb black people that vote for them. The gay Republicans that vote for them. All three of those people are being... Oh, no, I forgot one more. The Hispanics and Cubans and Mexicans who vote for them damn Republicans. They don't want in there. The Republicans can't stand immigration, wanting their asses. Then came for them. Look, the people who vote Republican are voting against their own interests. Has been like this since I was in high school, going back to the Reagan years. They voting for something they think it's going to help them, but it ain't going to help them. Because it's not designed. The Republican Party is strictly now, the modern day Republican Party is strictly to help wealthy people hide their wealth. And have low taxes. And allow them to be racist. And allow them to discriminate against everybody. That's what the Republicans are for. And if you support the Republican Party, you really need to begin to question your own intelligence. Because I'm sure the vast majority of the people that are watching my YouTube channel don't make millions of dollars a year. Because they'd be busy at work. They wouldn't be sitting watching my black ass. They'd be someplace making their millions. And how did the Republican Party handle this coronavirus pandemic? Shameful. Shameful. They completely botched this. All of them, not just Donald Trump. All of them. All of them. And then they all kept testing positive. Now we got Ben Carson tested positive. There have been a few Democrats that have tested positive. I have a lot of friends who are in health and fitness. And we all in good health. But we all know the social distance, wear masks, hands clean. And I have personally not had a COVID-19 test. I have had a antibodies test. I just haven't had a COVID-19 test. But all my associates, they've been testing because they're training people, they're out there testing. All of them have managed to stay negative. Why? Because they know to social distance. They ain't in no large groups of people protesting, marching, or rallying for nobody. They ain't stupid. They know to keep their hands clean. Sanitizer every damn where. They know to wear a mask, even when training clients are in their home. They have masks all over this damn place. It's very complicated for me personally to wear a mask in the gym. I'm not there right now anyway. But the gym is. I tried to wear a mask. It's hard. I couldn't breathe. But some people get. I got a big monster here. If the nose was a V, if y'all had like a 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder, 12-cylinder engine, this is a 12-cylinder engine right here. It needs lots of air. And I tried that mask on in that gym almost there. I almost picked my big ass up off the floor. Who's gonna pick up this refrigerator off the floor? Nobody. So I said, okay, this mask I cannot wear in this gym. Now, I was in between sets, I would put it on. But if I was lifting weight or doing cardio, I couldn't do that mask. Couldn't breathe. Shit, man, my nose was like, okay, where is the air? But anyway, most of my friends who are health and fitness have gone through great lengths to stay negative, to stay away from COVID-19. They were not taking any risk. They're not taking any risk. And all of them have managed to stay negative. Every last one of them. They go. I have a friend who gets tested every week because he's dealing with some high-end clientele, sometimes twice a week. I don't see it, but he's a well-known personal trainer. Me and him, he gets tested sometimes twice a week because he cannot go around his clients without that negative test to train them. And even when he's around his clients, mask on, social distance, outdoors. He, comes up with his truck. They do everything outside, nothing indoors now. Until the weather, he's going to try to do as long as he can. He's going to work out all winter long outdoors with his clientele. I could have a personal training clientele like that, but people get on my fucking nerves, y'all. I'm going to keep it real. I used to personal train people. People ask me, I say, why should you train me? It's complicated for me because I did so much personal training over the past decade or so that I don't want to be bothered with you motherfuckers. No, so don't ask. I'll put you on a meal plan. I'll help you with some supplements. I have some people have been hitting me up about my diet pills. I'm working on something. I have them. I just got to put a program in place to make this shit y'all know how to use them properly. And so I'm going to be calling you, I use a diet pill and I just picked myself off the kitchen floor. Yeah, and then what did you do wrong? Because I gave you strict rules. So I'm weeding through the clients I'm going to deal with, but it's another video. I'll deal with that later. So I've got everybody's messages who hit me up about those diet pills. I do have them. I'm reformulating them so they won't be so harsh on the system. So the normal, everyday, lazy people who ask me, do you work out and exercise? Like, no. How y'all gonna take a diet pill, a pill destined to help you lose weight, but you don't work out and exercise on a daily basis? You don't even walk and do shit. How you gonna lose weight? Oh, you just gonna pop this pill, magically you're gonna look like me, the refrigerator. That's my nickname now, the refrigerator. The Sub-Zero refrigerator. No, don't work that way, y'all. We'll deal with that on another video. But the Republican Party is dangerous for America. Their whole setup, the ignorance, the hate, how they handled the immigration issue, Donald Trump. You always say it. And I talk to a lot of people who have immigrated here from other countries. All types of countries. And Donald Trump effectively slammed the door on immigration. Even for people to come here the right way, y'all can say they need to come here the right way. Like there's a right way to come to America. I'm like, okay. We didn't get here the right way. The vast majority of people who got here didn't show up here with legal paperwork. And you all realize that in some countries, they're not even able to get copies of their birth certificates and legal documents that we had to take access for. Y'all not paying attention. Y'all some dumb motherfuckers. When people say people need to come here the right way, slap yourself in your fucking face because you don't know what the fuck is going on in these other countries. Where people cannot get documentation that we take advantage of, that we can go get our social security card and birth certificate. In some countries, they're not giving you this shit because they don't want you to leave the right way. Ignorant motherfuckers. Oh boy, if I could just put my hands around. Every time I hear somebody say they should come in the right way, I just want to choke the fucking shit out their fucking asses. Because sometimes there is no right way to leave a place that's fallen into a pit. And you try to escape, get your family in someplace safe. One day Americans are going to face this issue. Because Americans are going to fall into a pit. And we're going to be running around trying to figure out where we're going to run off to. And you're going to show up at the doorstep of another country and they're going to say, where's your paperwork? Why didn't you apply? Why didn't you call or email us and apply the right way? Donald Trump's wife came here the right way. I guess she could, because he sponsored her through it. And she came here illegally is what she did, because she falsely applied for something that wasn't even meant for her. That's how she got here. And how Donald Trump handled those children. And there are close to 600 children, 600 that they admit, but the number is probably way higher than that, who may never see their parents again. They have no way to get them in touch with their parents. Oh, you're going to call them a cell phone. What cell phone? They should never have been separated from their parents. Never been separated. And then Donald Trump going to make the mention that they were coyotes. If Donald Trump in the United States was concerned about these children and whether their parents, all they had to do was run a DNA test, and they would have known whose child was whose. But they separated them, and they had no way. Some of these children will never, ever see their parents again, because the parents have been deported without their children. Some of the children even ended up deported without their parents. So, the Republicans, and they call themselves Christians. And the God-fearing Christians, the Republican Party, we can't stand abortion. I cannot stand them damn Republicans. I've never cared for them. The whole Republican, the whole conservative movement, dangerous, foolish, ignorant as hell. And people who follow them just falling right off a cliff. Defund the Republicans is what we need to do. Now the Republicans are complaining about here in Georgia. Two of them who had to do runoffs. They want the Secretary of the Election Board of the state of Georgia to step down because they're unhappy because they knew going into the election they were probably going to be up in the runoff any damn way. They knew they weren't going to win. But this is the way of catering to their base. Fraud was used. Something happened. And then making the Republicans, oh my goodness. Although these two, Loeffler and Austin, all these, the two, David Perdue and Loeffler, two Republicans, they knew they were going to have to do a runoff. Because there's too many people running so they knew it was going to, but they knew nobody was going to win this shit any damn way when they had the election on November 2nd. They knew on November 3rd. They knew there was going to be a runoff. Now they're screaming fraud. Well, there was never enough votes for either one of them for them to win the election. You had to have 50%. Neither one came nowhere near close. I'm not sure about the Perdue and Osmond race, but I know with that Warnock, Loeffler, and one other person, it was 12 candidates in that Senate race. I voted for Warnock, and I hope he wins. Damn coffee went from hot to cold just that fast, just because the fan blowing on it. But anyway, I hope Donald Trump will go ahead and concede the race this week or the next week. But he's determined that he's going to fight this to the end. And he's getting support from other members like Mitch McConnell, stupid ass, who is another person. Y'all, we've got to work hard to make sure that these two Senate races here in Georgia, Warnock and Austin, win. So we can get rid of Mitch McConnell. Otherwise, Biden's hands are going to be tied. Because Mitch McConnell is a fool. He should have never been allowed to be really elected in Kentucky. But the hillbillies in Kentucky voted that fool back into office. And that other guy, Graham, out of South Carolina, I thought he was going to be gone. But he's back too. This country is we got a long way to come. I just saw something on TV that talking about race relations, and I was listening to it. And it was a black guy talking about race relations. And in my mind, I was thinking the whole time, it doesn't matter what we as black folks think about race relations in this country and racism. Because you cannot get these white folks to tackle their racist issues and racist problems, then you'll never be able to move for it. They have to admit that they're racist. And they're not going to do that. Because they don't see nothing wrong with their actions. Mitch McConnell, the Republican Party, Donald Trump, and the other racists who call themselves conservatives in the Republican Party, they don't see nothing wrong with their actions. And the people who voted for them the Hispanics, the gay Republicans, the black people, and the white trash, our wealthy white people, whatever you want to call them, but the hillbillies. Anyway, as I was saying, the people who voted for the Republicans, they don't see anything wrong with the racism that's spewed out of the Republican Party as conservatism. They don't see nothing wrong with it, even if it is harming them. That's the scary part. I have never in my life even considered a Republican candidate. Because remember, I lived through the Reagan years, and Ronald Reagan wasn't all that great for black folks. When Reagan got in office, then white folks, Reagan, that whole Reagan forward, Reagan, Bush, the second Bush, and Trump, is all the presidents we've had in the Republicans since the 80s, since the late 70s. All of them have been something else. Now, the first Bush wasn't as bad. You see, they didn't re-elect him, though. He was more in the middle. They ain't like that. Got rid of him. So he didn't get re-elected. That's how Clinton got in office. Because he wasn't as radical as his son was. And George Bush wasn't nowhere near as radical as Donald Trump's done is. But hey, Donald Trump's out. He needs to go ahead and concede, go on about his damn business, go play some golf. Then they said he can run for president again. Let him. Donald Trump, go someplace and sit your ass down someplace. And I doubt that I think if he ran again for office, he would be resoundingly beat. I think more people would show up to make sure. We've already lived through 4 years of his hell. Why are we going to go back? Why would we go backward? He should run for office again in 2024. I'm thinking that would be a dumbass move. Y'all better come up with a better kind of candidate than Donald Trump. Or most likely, Ms. Harris is going to become president, or Biden going to be reelected, depending on how this shit goes over the next 4 years. We shall see. Anyway, it is a beautiful Tuesday morning. I don't know why I woke up today, and I felt like it was like a Thursday or Friday when I woke up. And I guess because of the weather, I had the window open, the wind was blowing in. And I was thinking, this is Friday, today is Thursday, Friday. I'm thinking about going to call some friends of mine, go to brunch or something. And today is Tuesday, middle of the week. Yeah, so I will be making breakfast here at home. Plus I got all this food I purchased. And as you all know, I'm supposed to be moving into a new apartment. I don't think that's going to happen before Thanksgiving. It's going to happen right very close to Thanksgiving. So we shall see what happens. Lord. I sure don't feel like, I wish I could just stay in this unit. But it ain't no wash and dry. I'm getting sick of running my ass over there too. The laundromat, and I've already reserved the unit. I gotta pack all this stuff up and move it to the next unit. And finally, we'll see. Moving is exhausting. I feel like I'm a nomad. Like I've been consistently moving for the past 2 years. I'm exhausted. Eventually, I'm gonna latch on to one of these old raggedy houses out here once the prices drop. We'll see how the coronavirus pandemic over the next year. Because I strongly feel home prices are in for a huge beating over the next 12 months, especially as the economy tries to repair itself from this pandemic over the past close to a year now. We'll be in a year of the pandemic, February, March. Although Earl was in the hospital in December of last year, I think the coronavirus pandemic got started in November of last year, myself personally. And I did a lot of research, but the United States won't admit it was here until like February and January. So, but I really do think the housing market is going to take a hit over the next 12 months. This time, this shit is too damn high. Y'all, these prices are outrageous on these homes. Good. That ain't gonna become affordable, so some people can, like myself, can buy something cheap. I like cheap houses. I don't like expensive houses. Expensive houses on top of expensive maintenance is a disaster. Give me one of them houses at 50 cents or less on the dollar. I take it in. Oh, it's half off finally. Blue light special. I take 2 of them, please. That's the deal. But buying this expensive shit now, I'm looking at people buy houses right now, and I'm just thinking, what an idiot. Who would buy this shit at these prices? People act like literally that real estate is going to drive. It's never going to be. You never be able to buy a house. If you don't buy one right now, you never be able to buy a house again. That's the biggest lie on planet Earth. Real estate is a roller coaster ride, up and down, up and down. I can tell you about the downs. I can tell you about the ups in real estate. I did this shit for 20 years here in Atlanta, and let me tell you, we had the high end, and that shit is on its way down. Finally, so stuff can get affordable for people to buy and keep. You don't buy real estate when everybody else is buying that shit at these high-ass prices. You say, talk to the hand. I don't want that shit. You wait patiently. And I've told this to so many people. Be patient and wait. I need to do a video on that because I did videos about this with God damn. I'm seeing people buy some expensive real estate and I'm thinking, they don't get it. I mean, buying stuff now is not a good decision. Not when we know what the economy is going through, and I don't see the economy repairing itself over the next 12 to 24 months that quickly. It's going to take some years to get back to normal, which means a lot of people are going to lose these houses or be forced to sell them at cheap prices. Going to be a lot of foreclosures and short sales coming up. And plus, the housing market was just too expensive. When homes get too high and nobody can afford them, there has to be a price correction. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. A price correction is inevitable when home prices are just too high. And right now, home prices have reached a pinnacle that is just outrageous, and they have to come down. It collapses. Yeah. Do what you want to do. But I strongly suggest those of you who want to buy into real estate to really keep a close eye on the market. Look at the prices. Look at what it lists for. Look at what it sells at. And keep track of that stuff over the next 12 months, as 6 to 12 months, and particularly as we go into winter. I mean, this is just November, and the coronavirus is about to, because, I know it sounds exciting that they just said yesterday we got a vaccine. They ain't got it yet. And people are not paying attention. Pfizer, who said their vaccine works, said the first year they'll only be able to ship 25 million doses. I said, 25 million doses? That's it? That's it? There are billions of people on planet Earth. I said, 25 million? What? That's it. So y'all can get all excited if you want to. 25 million. And then the next year they said they can maybe do 250 million doses or something, 500 million. But we still got billions of people on planet Earth. I'm like, okay, well, that ain't enough. It ain't enough. But everybody's all happy and excited. I'm like, well, did you not hear the numbers? They didn't listen. I listened to that shit. The first year, Pfizer's vaccine that has so far is doing well so far. Ain't nothing happy. Anybody died just yet. Wink, wink. But 25 million people. That's it. Okay, so I think we in trouble. But anyway, this is my thoughts, opinions. Like I said, I'm just a fool over here on the internet. They don't pay me no attention. Today is Tuesday, November 10th, the year 2020. I'm about to get me some more coffee and clean up this place. Take a shower, get some breakfast, and make some money. I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day.